What is up, everybody? Welcome to Night Social, episode 7. Today we got Chris from the 740. We got Mark, and then we got the main guy from Right Firearm Solutions. What is up?
What's up, man?
Let's just go right into it. Fun fact of the day or the week, Chris. You were talking about it earlier. I want to hear this thing now.
My fun fact of the week is President Garfield's assassin chose an ivory-handled gun over a similar wooden-handled model because he knew it would look better in the museum.
Wow.
There you go.
That's pre-planned.
A fun fact of the week.
That's pretty cool. All right. Mark, you kind of got thrown into this last minute. If you want to look up one, go ahead. I'm just going to do something with the moon. It fits the title. So Australia is wider than the moon. If that makes sense. By dimensions. Pretty stupid, I know.
Did not know that.
Oh, look who's here. Oh, my goodness. Freaking bald. What is up, Val?
What's going on? I heard you need an expert on the panel.
Yeah, thanks for coming, buddy. All right. Mark, you got a fun fact for us? Oh, you're muted. Oh, no.
I'll start.
That's crazy. All right, Val, fun fact. Tell us something about the alien.
Fun fact. Let's see. Well, fun fact: the alien ran like a champ for the two days straight in the competition. I'm gonna shoot it again next Sunday without cleaning. So that's a fun fact. That's about it.
So it's holding up then?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it my turn now?
Go ahead, take it away.
All right.
Give Mark more time.
I got two facts.
Oh,
perfect. First one's a gun fact.
Okay.
In the years 2020 and 2021, Americans bought more firearms in those 2 years than ever before in American history. Now,
okay.
That's something that a lot of people don't realize. And when we're going by Nick's background checks, there's no way to know if on that form, if there's one gun or 5 guns or 15 guns, there's no way to know unless you go through it. So the Nick's background checks goes off of per document filed. So the number could be way higher than we're projecting.
Oh, yeah.
Now, my second fact is more of a personal fact. And that is just because you think you're doing the right thing doesn't mean you're always doing the right thing.
Very true. Very true.
Damn, those were like a deep words of wisdom, not a fun fact.
Hey, I like that. That's way better than mine. All right, Mark, leaving it up to you. Still muted.
Dude.
I wonder if
No one can hear you.
Mark doesn't have any audio.
Oh, no. Well, it's all right.
Like,
he's going to sign it? That's funny.
oh, please don't. Please
All
don't.
right. Well, let's see
God.
who's came into the chat so far. Daniel got as my judge. Yes, I was sleeping. I did take a nap. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Big P, how we doing? 67 Rebel, good evening. Bearded Lunchbox, how we doing? I think it's 5 or... Okay, there you go. I think it's 5 or 6 guns per form. Good to know. All right, so...
Let's help Mark out here real quick because I think Mark can hear us. Can you hear us, Mark?
Oh, okay. So,
all right. So go down at the bottom of your StreamYard where it says settings. And you're going to go click on audio. And then where it says mic, there'll be a drop down box. Kind of cycle through those and see if you can kick one on that'll make it work.
And for God's sakes, don't start singing. Please don't torture these guys.
we'll get some elevator music going.
Oh, please no. Please no.
He said it's not working.
All right. He might want to try to go out and come, maybe get headphones and come back in.
Yeah, you got your headphones.
All right. We'll
Is
get
my
him.
mic working?
We'll get it. Oh, yeah, you're good, Val. You're good. You're good. So one of the main topics tonight is suppressors. Sorry, Val. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, Val. Oh, no. We got to blow him up. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, there you go. Rocking the official apparel, man.
Yeah, some swag pack showed up.
It finally arrived, huh?
Oh,
Look
dude,
at
that's
that.
wicked.
Nice.
These are some quality shirts. This is like
Thank you.
good stuff.
I
Is
appreciate
that a
it.
tri-blend?
It's a 60-40.
Yeah,
Cool.
these are good ones.
Oh, he's back.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Whoa!
Perfect.
No.
There it is.
All right.
We got a winner.
Sorry about that, boys.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, Mark. Fun fact.
That's a free mag. That's a free mag of ammo for each of us for having to put up with that.
That's crazy. 30 rounds. Whew.
I run a 60, so he's gonna have to get over it.
Oh no.
Who
Well,
said
I'm
that?
limited to 10, so you can save some money.
Oh, jeez.
Honestly, I got stumped, and I don't really have any fun facts for you guys.
You're good. That's fine. That's fine. But Val, so that package just come in?
You know what? I didn't make it to a post office box whole week. So I don't know when it came. Probably came a lot sooner, but
Okay.
today I finally had the time to go and look what's there.
But hey, at least it showed up. Hopefully you can use that fanny pack. Look at that thing. Oh,
That's dope.
All
So,
right,
okay, are fanny packs coming back in? Because if it is, I want to go get some white New Balances and some calf socks.
I mean,
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter. It's in camel, so it's still cool.
that's so Coltac sponsored one of my lives, and they gave me a bunch of free stuff, and I gave away one of the stuff that they gave me, and it was the Not Your Average Dad's fanny pack.
Oh, okay.
So, and it had a lot of basically slots for medical supplies. You can put tourniquets underneath. You can put your pew in there. There's a lot of different things you could do.
Oh, that's right.
It's pretty cool.
And Val won it.
I don't know how that happened.
You rigged it. You were like spamming.
Favoritism.
But I did get a text message from another one of my subscribers yesterday, and the text said that he had a dream that I bought a $4 million lake house. So basically, his text said, "Go buy a lottery ticket."
Yeah. How'd that showing go? Since we're already talking, how'd that showing go Sunday?
Well, the guy showed up here on Sunday and pretty much put an offer on the house. We shook hands right away and all that. My only problem is I don't know how good of a buyer is he, because he's only putting 5% down, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Still 35 grand. And he works in a city as a city engineer, which means he's got a good, high-paying job. His wife works from home. A really nice family. They had a little 3 or 4-year-old daughter. So right now, I'm just waiting on a letter from his bank saying that he's pre-approved, and we'll go move it to contracts, hopefully. Knock on wood.
Good. Then you can get out of that state and have.
Nah, I gotta build one more house. I'm stuck here for another 6-7 months.
Some forbidden cigars for you if you want one.
Yeah, trust me, I would love to have one of those. Ever since I was down south and hooked up with X-Ring, and I was playing with his toys, and it was, like when you're down there and Microtech is the sponsor of the match, there's not a whole lot of limits. You can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, they let me climb into a Gurkha, open up the top hatch, and I'm like looking from the top, and I'm like, somebody hand me a gun so I can shoot from here. Actually, like, yeah, we can make that happen, no problem.
Here's a 249.
Yes. Love is only reciprocated in a cyclic rate.
Supposedly they got rid of that thing and they got a new toy with some pew pew mounted on top of it.
Nice.
That's interesting. Okay. Huh.
We'll see. I'll go back down there in October.
All right. So one of the main topics tonight is suppressors and flash mitigation. So who on the panel has shot with the suppressor or been around them?
Always wanted to.
Okay. Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
I live in California. Don't kill me.
Oh, you're even more fucked than I am.
Yeah, that's crazy. Someone send help.
SOS, please.
Show me where the state touched you.
Yeah. So
Let me
depending
try you
on how many baffles, what type of can, type of material, and type of end cap you have will basically give you your flash. It could be a fireball. It can just be just a little flash. I've never seen no flash, but I've heard it's out there. So that's very interesting. And when it comes to these devices, you want what is a flash hider, because if you just have just a flat, everything's just going to protrude out. And that gives up your location, everyone's location. In broad daylight, you can still see them. At night, you can definitely see it. But where it comes in the big play is night vision and thermal. Holy crap. Even like a cigarette under night vision and thermal will light you up like a light bulb at night. It's insane.
That's
Yeah,
all.
a simple cell phone screen, you might as well just be projecting yourself from space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was unreal in the military, all the guys that would be busting out their phones and you just be looking around, you're just like, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Oh, I have a red film over it. It's not going to hurt my eyes. Dude, you're an idiot.
Our position is blown.
Which cans are those?
So this is the Rugged Razor 556 version.
Okay.
And then I have just a Rebel silencers 223. It's all aluminum with I think this might be a steel mounting. I don't think it's aluminum, but they don't even make these anymore. Like this company's not around, so I kind of have to baby this because if it goes bye-bye, I'm out of luck. And then
can you not adjust anything on the inside by yourself? Like, is it one of those sealed suppressors?
no, yeah, and I'll get into that here in a second. This one is the Rugged Obsidian 45. So both of these are modular.
Right.
So if I wanted to, I can make this a K can. Just unscrewing it and put the end cap on this, and then it becomes that size. And then same thing with this one. This is actually the 3/4 of its configuration, and here's the other part.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the problem with doing that sometimes, Rugged has a big problem of doing this. I will go solo. Look at that.
Baffle strikes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So does that win the suppressor completely?
So luckily, I've been lucky this is the third time this has happened for me. It's just the end cap. The baffles are all fine. I took them all out. There's nothing wrong with them. And Rugged changed it's still a lifetime warranty, but Rugged changed their stuff and they want me to send this whole device to them. And I don't want to do that. So I just have another end cap. I just use the 45 instead of the 9mm. Yeah.
Now, do you ever fill them up with like a water or oil or some because I heard some of them work better when they're wet.
Yes, this one, I think it knocks. The computer or science or whatever says it knocks like 5 decibels if you have this wet. So you just literally pour a whole thing of water in there, swish it around, dump it out, mount it, and start shooting it. I think it makes a little bit of a difference. I don't know exactly how much, but yeah, it does. This one you can shoot wet. The other one, though, I would not shoot the aluminum one wet.
My machinist brain is like whirling right now because of all the things that could have gone wrong to cause those strikes.
Oh my, yes. So that's awesome you brought that up. So this is a half by 28 thread, and they always ask me, is it threaded on all the way? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, do you check it after every 3 shots? I'm like, I do you better. I do it every 2, just to like get at them. I do check it periodically, but I crank that thing down, and it does not come off. Every now and then, like if I mag dump, it will move a little bit, and I'll just tighten it.
Have you thought about using shims?
I did think about doing that, but I don't know. I have a bunch of mounts for it. So I have a 3-lug, I have a fixed barrel, I have the 5 by something to go on like a 45 caliber. Mm-hmm. So it's a multi-host suppressor, so I don't really want to shim it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's just funny. This is the 3rd one that this has happened.
Well, that tells me that the thread geometry might be off.
It might be. And it's happened on not 1, not 2, but 3 different hosts too. My MP5, my Glock 19X, and it happened on a Glock 19.
Well, there's your fucking problem. Stop using Glock.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming. But
auto for life.
But yeah, I mean, it's been on a SIG and CZ. I mean, the baffles were already, or the end cap was already stripped. So who knows? But what I was getting at, has anyone experienced a baffle strike?
Many times.
Go into it.
So I was out with a buddy of mine. We were out shooting, suppressed firearms, and he had pulled out a M249, and we started firing just a couple bursts. He had a full auto rated suppressor on there, and we just started seeing sparks coming off the end of it after every couple shots. So we cleared the firearm out, cleared everything, made sure barrel came off, and everything was hunky-dory. Wait for it to cool down. Dude, holy shit. If we would have fired a couple more rounds, I guarantee that can would have come off. The baffles were shot to shit. They were fucked.
Do you remember what can?
I don't remember which can. I swear, I have such a bad memory when there's so many cans out there. It's kind of like remembering all the AR variants.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's a can.
Yeah.
What makes yours so freaking special over someone else's?
And when they come out with a new can, every company, they change the smallest thing, and they say it's going to do this huge thing that you have to buy it.
I blame Glock for that.
Huh?
I blame Glock for that. Glock is the biggest guilty, dirty SOB in the industry that is the iPhone of the gun industry.
Yeah, but Glock is also one of the biggest sponsors of the shooting sports. Yeah, they put a lot of, you gotta hand it, and they put a lot of money back. They also do a lot for the military, law enforcement, blue label guns, and all that. They do a lot more than, considering they're only one trick pony. They put a lot of that back into the community as well. So yeah, love them or hate them, but you mentioned Glock. Everybody knows a goddamn Glock. You can be a goddamn newbie, never held a gun in your life, but you definitely know the Glock from Call of Duty or some other crap.
I would definitely say that the Glock 19 is probably up there with the AR-15 and the AK in the world of popularity, in the world of shooting sports. But I have to be honest, man. In my honest and professional opinion, I would never trust my life to a Glock. And I would just, that's hands down, I will never carry a Glock to protect my life. I have a list somewhere in that closet, I'm pretty sure, because pardon the mess, guys. I was getting ready to move and some things happened, so please excuse the mess. But I have a list of 37 Glocks that have blown up in my hands, and they were all factory Glocks. All of them. Not one was messed with in any way. They were factory, and they blew up in my hands with factory ammunition. I will never trust my life to a Glock. Just like how I don't trust SIG. I don't trust any other products whatsoever. I know one of the engineers for them. There's no way I will ever buy a SIG, especially modern SIGs, because they're all guilty for it. They know problems
Now you're
exist.
just talking nonsense.
So Val actually did a good video. He put there was not like a live round. There's a primer in there, but there was
Right.
no actual bullet. So,
Right.
and he put it in there, and it was a P320, right, Val?
Yeah, the X5.
And he literally hammered on it pretty good. It didn't go
Right.
off, and then he showed that there was a real primer and shot it, and the primer went off. So
Right.
I think it just depends on quality control that week, and maybe a lemon gets through him.
So
Yeah,
yes,
but if you know how the internals of the 320 work and all that, all that shit that they say is virtually impossible because it's three different things, and all those things would have to go all together wrong. It's just I don't buy it. And the guy that said that his gun went off just in the holster, I find it really hard to believe. So I guarantee all these blown up SIGs. Somebody was really doing some homemade gunsmithing on it, or some weird ammunition, or crap like that. I mean, I don't know.
They admitted that there was an issue with their fire control group, and they had to redesign it. Stig admitted that publicly.
Yeah, but it wasn't because it wasn't mandatory upgrade. My SIG is original. I never sent it back for that voluntary upgrade. Mine's a pre that. I never had an issue with that. So it was like under certain conditions, something, maybe some model, whatever the hell, but it's so rare. The amount of guns they put up, it's the same with Glock. Just the amount of guns they put up, the percentage of the guns that actually something does happen. I mean, I toured the SIG factory. I mean, it's a high-tech facility. Every single gun that goes out gets tested. I mean, they have a range right in the middle of the factory with like 12 to 14 million rounds on hand any given time. And they have like 5 guys, that's all they do all day, shoot guns. I'm not saying that they put 30 rounds through the gun. Some guns only get 5, 6 rounds, but they test full auto, everything. And then in the factory, they have on a ceiling, they have this long tube that goes across the whole ceiling, and that's a 100-yard range. There's a guy sitting with a rifle at the one end, and there's a revolving paper target on the other hand, and they test the accuracy of the guns over there. And they make guns for the what was it, Danish Royal Guards and some other crap, and I mean they make a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I got zero problem with the 6 I have. I'll trust them any day of the week. I carried the Gucci 320, X carry, and I did the same thing with that X carry. I was banging on it on the range, and in response to somebody else's video, I was banging, doing everything, and I just might be just sample of one, but I got zero problem with my 6.
So Razor has a good point. He said it's the firing out of battery, and they did admit it. I did.
What major match were we at when Keith SIG, with his 320, his max fired out of battery?
That was a level 2, wasn't it, or was it at Briar?
Yeah, I think we were at Briar Rabbit because he had to switch guns out. Remember?
Yeah, it happened, and
it happened on the very first stage.
Yeah, and luckily the RO seen it happen and knew where his finger was, and Keith, they let him like switch guns. Luckily, that was sketchy.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I want to be very clear on this. I'm not trying to talk smack about SIG. I call it for what it is. SIG openly admitted that there was a massive problem with the development of the gun. It was rushed. They admitted that they rushed the project for the military contract. The M17 and the P320 are one and the same animal. They are very much similar. Now, speaking to some of the engineers at SIG and some of the guys who are contracted to work with SIG, I can tell you right now, SIG cuts corners, just like any manufacturer. Remington cuts, corners. Daniel Defense cuts corners. Everybody cuts corners because that's business. Cutting corners is part of the business process to try to streamline things, to make it faster, produce higher profit, so on. However, let's look at a company that also knows a bit more about quality control than everybody else, and that would be Lewis Machine Tool. Those guys were producing guns that, unmatched in the industry, were top quality guns. Over the past 4 or 5 years, we've seen how their quality control has tanked. And I go into the group chats for LMT, and you got the guys who are the QC guys, and they're like, hey, send it back, or hey, this is what happened. Hey, bad batch number. It's nonstop. You can't get these guys to come in and agree or disagree on anything. The industry is extremely divided. And when we see failures like Remington going down because they failed to listen to the customer base, they failed to listen to gentlemen like yourselves and to the people in the comments, Remington failed to listen. And look what happened to him. Palmetto listens to people, and while people may say that Palmetto's junk, Palmetto is actually one of the largest manufacturing presences in the United States to date.
That dagger is very interesting. I got to get one.
I want the 5.7.
What?
I want that 5.7 that they make, man. That looks nice.
Incredible. And so that's going to go into 3D printing. So there's 3D printed suppressors out there where they're actually titanium infused. And that is some impressive stuff. Holy crap. Not only does titanium get hot quick, but it cools down even quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, there's a downside, though, to titanium.
Yeah. You can go into it if you want.
So as a machinist, one of the first things that we get taught is metallurgy. We learn the concepts of what different metals do in different applications. I am currently working on a design for a new handgun. And with that, I'm planning to make it out of titanium. However, if you're going to use titanium on a firearm, it can be in a non-friction area unless you make it an alloy. If you make titanium alloy, you can then change the properties to be able to resist friction. Because titanium introduced with friction, it gums up. And that's where you get a lot of shavings, and the material tolerance falls out of whack quickly with friction and heat. So to make it a titanium alloy, that is, no cost 12-year-old gun. Yeah. So ultimately, when it comes down to titanium suppressors are great, but the problem is if they heat up and you beat the shit out of them, there's a possibility that you could cause some damage that could really impact your can. And I've seen it happen. But if you're introducing two different kinds of metal, such as if you're using what are barrels made out of? Chrome moly steel or something of that nature, and you have a harder steel for a suppressor, and there's a excessive amount of weight introduced at the front of the muzzle, at the crown of the suppressor, it's going to put all that tension on those threads. Well, if titanium's stronger than the threads that are on the physical rifle itself, you run the potential risk of ripping it apart. The amount of force that would take is substantial. I want to make that clear, but it is still a possibility.
I have a $200 titanium hammer, framing hammer that I have to last 20 years.
Hell yeah.
Stiletto, titanium hammer with a steel head, interchangeable head.
There you go.
This isn't titanium at all, but the ones that Arc rated, when I was at NRAM, I got to do a pretty good interview and sit down with one of the guys that did some R&D with their titanium infused suppressors, and I got to look at one that was cut in half. They had, I forget what it was. It was kind of like a cam lock, but they had their on, you had to push down, and then you could thread it on, and then you had like three little, it was like a triangle effect, one down and then down here. And when you turned, it was like a claw, and they'd lock onto that muzzle device. So for some reason, like they said, when they were doing full auto, like you saying, under tension, it was starting to wear off, but those claws held it on there. So they probably experienced that, and they're like, oh no, we need to figure something out. So, oh no, look at Daniel.
Oops.
That's what happens.
He's
That's
got
what
a video on his channel when that LMT went up too.
That's what happens when you're old and senile. You grab the wrong powder.
I did like 200 rounds of 243, and I thought I was running my super performance powder, and then I looked over and I was using something else, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna blow up my gun if I try to fire this.
That's insane. That's a lot of rounds.
Yeah, I sat there and was a little upset hammering out rounds for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I blew up my AR.
You blew up your AR?
100%. I blew it up. I blew it
Me
up.
too.
It split the upper receiver in half, blew the magazine out. It bowed a little bit the bottom receiver. It cracked the barrel extension. It destroyed the ball carrier group. It was brand new stag arms 3-gun upper, 18-inch barrel. It was like first couple of shots, and I realized same thing. I put a shotgun powder instead of rifle powder in it.
Whoops.
So don't put 20 grains of shotgun powder inside your freaking 2 to 3 rounds.
Whoops.
Yeah. Razor, the Otter Creek do have really good suppressors, but the titaniums do heat up pretty fast, but they cool down fast too, if not faster than normal suppressors. But no matter what you have, you should get a suppressor cover for Mirage, because when those things heat up and you're further away and you don't want to be seen, it's going to cause a mirage effect, and they'll be like, oh, something's over there. Well, if you've been laying it down, they're going to know where you're at.
Not only that, it also affects your vision.
Yes, exactly.
Long distance guys.
With thermals, it's not this one specifically, but there's one that's like $500 a suppressor cover, and they did like a controlled, and they had thermal on it, and it barely rose in temp. Like the barrel was screaming hot, and the suppressor cover held it all in. Like it stayed almost the same temp. It rose a little bit. Oh, Ron's in here. So yeah, get you a suppressor cover. Even if it's your sock. Don't use your sock. Never mind. Don't do that. Someone's gonna do that. Special Solutions told me to use my sock.
Someone's gonna do it.
Don't use your sock. The other day, someone burnt their tent. I forget who I was. I was on Instagram. I was just scrolling through, and someone burnt their tent with their suppressor. It was like a picture of their Surefire can with like burn marks, and then the next thing was like their tent halfway burnt. And I was like, I literally sent them a picture. I forget who it was. I sent them a picture of a suppressor cover, and I said, only you.
Salt in the wound.
I was like, only you can prevent that from happening. They said, thanks.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a big move.
Yeah. Now, okay, Spectre, do you mind if I ask Mark a question here?
Oh yeah, yes. Go ahead.
So, Mark, being that you don't have the experience, in the world of firearms like the rest of us, do you have questions for anybody else? Because this could give our audience a really good, impact of someone who doesn't know anything about anything that we're talking about.
Yeah. So what advice would you give someone that is looking into purchasing their first firearm, even if it's, either if it's an AR or a handgun? Because I can tell you guys this much. I mean, for me, when I first started, I pretty much got suckered into, making a purchase, which I didn't like, in 3 different occasions. So that's like about $3,000 out the window. So my question is to you guys, each individual of you guys, what would you give someone like me advice on as far as starting off?
Chris, you want to go first? We'll just go around the panel.
My best advice for somebody is to go to a gun shop that has an indoor range, and you can rent the majority of the firearms that they sell, and get some in your hand and test them out. Because you're going to know right away whether you like that gun or you don't like that gun. I think that's one of the best things for a person to do. Even a seasoned firearms guy, if it's a newer gun that's come out, and you have an opportunity, you can go somewhere and shoot that gun before you buy it. I think it's a great idea. So.
I think that's great. I think that's great too, Chris. But here's my thing. When I first went to my first range a while back, and I don't know if your guys' ranges in your areas are like this, but the range I went to, of course, me being dumb and not knowing, anything about the firearms industry. The guy the range guy's like, oh, try this one out because it's cool. This one's cool. I like this one. So tell me what you think. So I tried it out and I was like, okay, cool. I just did my thing. He's like, oh, like what you think? I'm like, oh, it's cool. And he's like, okay. And that's it. Just walked on out of there and just got me a burrito and just went home. So, I mean, right then and there, I was like, okay, I kind of, I threw that in the back burner. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to pursue it until I bought my first firearm. I bought a Walther P22.
I'm gonna give you the best advice. Don't spend money on guns at all. You save as much money as you can and move the fuck out of California.
Yes.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Yes.
Hey, I'm working on it. All right, I'm working.
That's crazy. I mean,
Priorities.
Val, you're not any better. You're in New York, buddy.
You know what? At least we don't have a fucking roster, and the other shit. And over here we go county by county. So I'm in a pretty. I've shared this pretty pro way, but I'm on the verge to getting the fuck out of here anyway.
Okay, that's crazy.
Florida's no better.
So yeah, kind of like how Chris said, go to the range if you're able to do, and just rent the guns. But if not, and you have, I don't know if anyone you have that's friends, that's local to you that have guns, see if you can go to a range with them and try it out. And if you actually trust them and their knowledge, you can kind of ask them questions like, why is it angled this way? Why do I feel awkward like this? Is my hand not high enough on the dovetail? Is my purchasing on my support hand weird? Like, why do I feel this way? So kind of ask people around you if you feel comfortable. If not, you're just going to have to try and feel out people that you are comfortable with and go to the different ranges. And hopefully somebody will take a liking to you or want to help you. That's what they're there for. Honestly, that's pretty shitty that happened to you.
The other problem. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
The other problem with California is they have a gun registry. Like there's guns that aren't like even though a brand new gun comes out, that doesn't mean somebody in California is going to get to buy it. It has to. They have a list of guns that you can buy. Walter Bunning covers that a lot on his channel. Like you might want a certain gun, but you can't get it because California has not approved it to be sold.
That darn roster.
Yeah. So, that's it.
I rub Mark's nose in it often with my staccato.
Yeah.
Well, I remind him often.
Another thing too, Mark, is just like when you can go to a gun store and just pick up a gun. Ask them, okay, hey, I want to see this. Get it, grip it. Get your shooting grip on it and everything. You can tell a lot by a gun whether you're going to like it or not as soon as you get it in your hand too. There's just certain guns that I don't like how they feel. I don't like the frame on the gun. I don't like the grip. I don't like the trigger guard. Trigger guards drive me nuts. There's a lot of guns that just are totally uncomfortable to shoot because of the trigger guard itself. So you can tell a lot just by getting one in your hand and trying it that way.
So that leaves out the last thing, which is an AR platform. So when I think I spent roughly almost close to, a buddy of mine helped me out with this, and man, I think I spent almost close to $2,000. And I've known Dakota for almost roughly 2 years, and I showed him my build, and he even agreed with me that my build is literally could cost me $400. It should have cost me $400 and $2,000. So that right there. I can tell you guys this right now. I think I spent a total almost close to $8,000 on my firearms.
How many do you have?
Not enough.
I have
That's
4.
true. Okay. And did you kit it all out? Dots, lights, nothing? You just bought them?
I put 2 optics on, or I got a couple of optics, and like I said, with the amount of money that I spent, $8,000 out the window, I could have totally used half that money at least, to put some more stuff on it, but now I can't.
Yeah. And that it's a lot of people will buy a bunch of guns when they start because they either see like their favorite people on social media having it, their friends have it. But really, I think they should buy one or two and do the necessities to it, and then go pursue a class or training or education and use all that money for that. That's crazy. I don't have a staccato, and I don't know if that's one of the guns you have, but I know those are pretty pricey. And Dakota has a staccato.
Yeah.
Those things run pretty smooth. I mean, they hold their value.
Oh, dude, just wait till I start producing mine. I'm absolutely gonna give Staccato a run for their money. You can take that to the bank. That is my word as the owner of my company. I'm going to give Staccato a run for their money.
I can't wait for that.
And mine's going to have a 30-round capacity.
Is it going to lock back?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Oh, it's going to come Gucci straight from the factory, already sighted in, everything. You won't have to do shit but fire.
Sighted in? Now that's rare. You don't get that.
It's going to be sighted in and everything, universal. Every gun is going to be test fired, and oh yeah, guys, it's going to be nuts. But to kind of go on to Mark's point here, what should someone know when they're looking to buy, maybe after they've bought their firearm, right? Chris, I would love to get your input on this based on the guns you got on the wall. Someone just bought their first AR. They took a couple basic classes. They decided they want to buy their first suppressor. They go online. There are hundreds of options. They don't know anything about the Form 1, Form 4. They don't know anything. Where can someone go, and what can someone do to educate themselves on the safe way of how not to end up in the ATF's line of sight?
Devin, I'm going to have to let you take this one because the only suppressors I shoot are Devin's suppressors. I actually don't own any.
So with getting suppressors, it's modern times. Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, suppressors mattered. There were certain models that you didn't want to touch. But now it's modern times. They all have baffles. They all have the same streamline. They all do the same thing, maybe a little bit better, maybe not. But so budget is what you want to look at. So I'll be transparent. I'll be fully transparent. This guy, this company's not they're Rebel suppressors. They're not in business anymore. This thing was $300 plus $200 for your tax stamp. So $500 out the door was this type of suppressor. It's aluminum. So if you have that type of budget and all you can have is $500, then that's fine. It will literally do the same thing as this, and this is almost $1,000 can with a tax stamp.
Wow.
From Rugged Razor. It does literally the same thing. This can just hold up more abuse. Why I said earlier I have to baby this thing. One, because it's aluminum, and two, well, as you can see, it's starting to wear out. So this will last longer. So you're buying materials, but for what you want to use it for, you can just buy a cheaper one.
Yeah, but think about how many thousands of rounds you and I have shot through that Rebel, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a great can.
That was the can that the AR blew up too in my hand.
Yeah.
That survived that. I'm surprised it didn't baffle strike.
Hancho talks about multi-caliber is the way to go. And
yeah, can you elaborate on that as well as, buddy? I'm so sorry, I forgot your name.
I don't know much about suppressors, but I spent quite a bit of time talking to X-Ring about it, and he's considering he works for Microtech. He developed the latest Microtech suppressor, the one that went to special operations. He's got a couple of patents on it as well. Mm-hmm. And even he said that if you just want to have one, but if you want like a truly best, then it's hard to you want to have designated suppressor for designated caliber. That makes then you get a quality item.
Yeah. So the Rugged Razor, the Rugged Obsidian, which is right here. This is a 45 can, but I can put this on a 300 blackout. I can put this on a 45 pistol, PCC. I can put this on any 9mm host. I can put this on a 450 Bushmaster if I wanted to and go hunting with deer. So this is a multi-purpose can. Yes, I do have Baffle Strike 9mm end caps. Rugged Razor, I don't know what's going on with it. Or the Rugged, yeah. But this is a dedicated can just for 223-556. So, and you can get a 7.62 can and run 223-556 30 caliber ammo as well. But the reason why people say you shouldn't do that if you run 223-556 is because it won't be as quiet because the baffles are bigger. It's not a tight fit. I mean, suppressing 223-556 is almost impossible because it's going so fast. So, not going to entertain me all day with that. But yes, multi-caliber is what you want to go for. If you're going to best bang for your buck, find your budget and find one that's multi-caliber and find out what you're going to use it for. Because if you have a 3-lug mount, you're going to want a 3-lug quick detach. And you're going to have to buy that. You're going to want to make sure it goes with that and you can use it. If you only have threads, you're going to want to make sure you have the right threads. 1/2x28 or the 5x20 something. I don't want to get it wrong. Or
here's a crazy idea. Okay, I know there's a suppressor company out there that basically the bottom portion is serialized number. So if you have like a baffle strikes and stuff, you can replace all that stuff. You know, why don't they just make something like that for a multi-caliber where just the bottom part is the NFA item, and you can just swap up the rest of it, you know, for different calibers. You follow what I'm saying?
Within the ATF code or whatever, it basically says you cannot modify it after you purchase it, because when just like buying a firearm, you have to like input what the firearm is. So when you get a suppressor, it has like the links and all type of dimensions, and it literally says you cannot alter it unless you are like certified to do so. So unless they get rid of that terminology and lingo, whatever it is, I don't think they'll ever have that. The best thing you have is like taking it off and making it a K can, like removing a piece of it. I mean, like if I had a bunch of baffle strikes in this, I mean, your theory is correct. I could just take this off and just use this part. That's fine. But
yeah, but what about the oil filter suppressor, the oil filter adapter? I mean, you can get that. That's a ATF thing as well, and then you can just screw in the freaking oil filter.
oh, like a solvent trap.
No. There's
Oil filter.
actual oil filter from the car. There's an adapter for it, so you can thread it onto your gun. An oil filter acts as a suppressor, and the adapter, that's the part that you have to register with the ATF. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know at some point somebody was selling something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was big and goofy looking, but
yeah, those things won't last. But yeah, they can do that. There's always something. They always try and find something, and I wish they weren't like that, because these things are not terrible. These things are not Hollywood. They're not really quiet. They're not. They make it safe for the environment and the person shooting and the person around you. So
you preaching to a choir, you know?
Yeah.
Like we can have suppressors in New York if you're law enforcement. If you're law enforcement, you're exempt, and you can actually get a suppressor, which is another crack of shit.
Honcho has I got to catch up on chat. Honcho, thanks for coming in, buddy. These are great questions by you. Do you want direct attach? Oh, we lost Mark.
Yeah, he has to go get food. Real quick question though, how can I find this on YouTube? I want to on our social.
Look up Spectre Solutions on YouTube.
Okay.
So, do you want direct attach or quick detach, rimfire, pistol, rifle, or shotgun can? So, with pistol, you actually want cam lock. Griffin Armament actually makes that, so you don't have to worry about it walking off as you shoot. It's a cam lock, so it's almost like a 3-lug, but it's not. You'll have to look it up, but it's kind of like a 3-lug. Basically, you'll put it on and twist it, and it's on. It's not going to come off. It's not going to walk off. but you have to be careful when you put it on because if you chip it or scrape it, it will lose its integrity and it will slowly come off. But as long as you do it right once and you twist it, it's not going to come off. So you don't have to worry about the threads unthreading. So with pistols, I would go with that. Rifle, I would definitely go with some type of locking mechanism because rifle, it's just going to be, it beats the crap out of it. So you want some type of locking mechanism secondary, either it's like a, I think this is like a cam lock. Then they also have a claw and they have a ratcheting system as well. Did Air makes a really good one. A lot of people, fun fact, a lot of people cut this off and then put a key mod from Did Air on it because it's just a crank and a ratchet and it's on. It is stuck. This is kind of, I wouldn't say it's gimmicky, but it's a little rough. Maybe because it's brand new. I've only had it a couple months. And for shotgun, I've never messed with a shotgun suppressor. I've only seen them in person. I've never had one, never shot with one. They look cool. The Salvo 12 from Silencer Co. looks probably your best bet because it's you thread it on, and then the last thread is literally you cranking it and locking it in onto itself. So that might be your best bet with a shotgun. That's the best of my knowledge.
Best shotgun on earth with a suppressor, AA-12.
Oh my god! Too bad it's a destruction device.
Full Invictus arms, and it was the coolest experience in my life.
I really wish it wasn't a destruction device because I would love to get hands on that thing.
Speaking of that, there's several breaking news articles that have been happening recently with ATF getting stripped of their authority because of different cases going to the Supreme Court. That really should be getting talked about because this is gonna change how the industry moves going forward.
I didn't even see Chad going.
It's ATF is not going away. If you look historically, we've been losing rights. We never gained them back. Same in New York. They made the shit always worse. Never, nothing changed to better. So I doubt this is gonna go away.
I think the suppressors are going to be removed because I think the Firearms Policy Coalition, which they've already stated that that's their intention, is tasers were given the ability to be sold in common use due to the fact that there were over 300,000 in production in the world. So suppressors have surpassed that tenfold. Okay,
Easily.
there's way more suppressors than 300,000 units. Therefore, making suppressors in common use. Therefore, the National Firearms Act no longer can apply to that. That's what we're going back to court for. Because the ATF uses Chevron deference anytime they're challenged on their authority, and Chevron deference has protected them. Now that the EPA is getting their butt kicked in federal court, and if they lose and Chevron deference is stripped, then what ends up happening is all these companies that have fought ATF for wide open triggers, binary triggers, the firearms that are teetering that line, the bump stocks, pistol braces, anything that is deemed dangerous by the ATF in recent time would automatically go back for an appeal process because Chevron deference no longer applies. They have violated the law. So that's going to be a huge thing going forward, is proving in the facts that these items are in common use. First, it'll be suppressors. Next, you'll see SBRs being introduced, and we've already seen it in-house.
I sure hope you're right. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't be against it. I mean, like, what's his name? There's a long distance shooting channel from South Africa, and you go to store and buy a freaking suppressor. There's no. I mean, considering it's kind of stupid because why do you have to register the suppressor? You can't. Suppressor is no good to you if you don't have a gun. And in order to buy a gun, you gotta pass the background check already. So where's same goes like in New York. We can't have them. Meantime, I gotta go through so much bullshit to freaking just get my pistol and add a pistol on a permit. Oh, by the way, fun fact: my son got his First Amendment, so the gun I gave him for the graduation, since yesterday, he can officially carry it on him.
There you go.
Awesome. Heck yeah.
Honcho's comment out there pretty much sums up what Val was just saying and what we were talking about. 2,664,775 suppressors owned indicated in 2021. They got $200 per suppressor. Times that by that 2,600,000. There's your answer right there. Why we have this.
But now do 2.5 million times $200. That's a lot of money for them. So they want the money.
They want that money.
Yeah.
Perkins Defense has a good point too. Suppressors are common, and everything's getting more common, especially if Big Brother doesn't want you to have it or is against it. It makes the people want it. So these things are literally everywhere.
I'd like to make a point here, and I want you to tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, Spectre. Okay. And for everyone in the comments, I want to hear everyone else's opinion too. I'm of the belief if you have a home defense firearm, you should have a suppressor on the end of that firearm, because if you have to shoot inside of a hallway, you're going to be hearing ringing for the rest of your life. Anyone who's spent time in kill houses or operational areas who have actually had to fire unsuppressed in a closed environment will know that your head literally hurts for days after those engagements. I believe that you should do everything in your power to mitigate that, and using a suppressor with subsonic ammunition is one of the best ways to do it.
And I agree to a point. If you can, definitely. If you can't, then you can't. Right. There's a lot of videos out there, big name YouTube videos too, that actually shoot in their house and show you the difference. NFA review. There's a couple other big ones I can't fully explain right now or think of, and they literally shoot from their kitchen without a suppressor. They have ear pro on, but it deafens the cameras recording. So just imagine what it does to you in an enclosed setting. If you've never been in an enclosed setting with loud octave, it will literally make you sick. And sometimes it makes people pass out. It will literally mess you up.
Yep.
So with that suppressor, they still shoot it inside. It's still actually loud, but it dampens it enough to where you don't get messed up. And the people around you can actually understand you. If you're saying, go this way, no, go that way, go upstairs, go to the car, get away from here, he's this way. So you can still communicate. They can still hear you. Instead of your ears ringing like you're saying, you're just like, no.
Oh, come on. Steven Seagal in his movie, he just duct taped the freaking 2-liter Coke bottle to 45 and he was shooting like pop, pop, pop. Come on.
Hey,
right.
We should tell Dakota about that video of us using a towel.
Oh, seriously? No way.
Yeah. If you, Chris, go into it a little bit if you want.
Yeah, we got a video on my channel where we took was it the Obsidian we used? Or no, we used the Rebel, didn't we?
Yeah, we used the Rebel.
Put a Rebel on a Heritage Rough Rider Tactical Cowboy revolver. And obviously a revolver with a suppressor does no good because everything's coming out of the cylinder. So we took a towel and wrapped it around it, and it was night and day different.
Wow.
And that video is still up. I can't believe YouTube hasn't taken it down. But
come on, you should know. You should know from the experience. Whenever you're using revolver, you need to use a freaking pillow. Isn't that how mobsters always do it?
Yeah, but a hand towel. It's cheaper.
And it's cheaper. That's funny. That was one of the taglines. And I think the reason they didn't mess with it at all is because we said don't do this at home. So many times we said don't do this. We said don't do this. I don't know how many times. Honcho, you are correct. Tax stamps are for machine guns. So people that buy machine guns and you have that cheddar and you're not an FFL, SOT, Title 7 or whatever, if you buy pre-ban for $7 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, hats off to you. I'm jealous. For one. Two, for you to wait 6 to 12 months, even longer, after you spend that amount of money for that machine gun, even more props to you. Hopefully you have somebody that you bought it off of. You can do conjugal visits, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
That's the only way I do it. I'd be like, yo, I'll buy it off of you, get it in you. I'll come and like check it out. But yeah, you still have to wait when you get those. It's insane.
What's the rules on the suppressors, like crossing the state lines and shit like that?
Yeah, some states don't allow them.
Oh, I get that, but what are the rules as far as ATF? Because I know like SBRs or some machine guns, you have to like notify them that you're bringing them to another state or some shit like that. You gotta do the same thing with the suppressors, or as long as the suppressor is legal. Like if I'm in Pennsylvania and I own a suppressor and I go into Ohio and I don't know they're legal in Ohio, I can just bring it over. I don't have to tell nobody nothing.
So in my experience, ATF has told me it depends. If you're going somewhere for just a quick match for the weekend, they don't really give a shit. But if you're going somewhere and you're relocating, like say relocating from Washington to Florida or Wyoming to Arizona, something like that, you're changing your home address. It's treat a suppressor just like an original FFL purchase every time. If your address change, the suppressor needs to be, notifying the ATF that your license number or anything about you has changed. If your trust, if it changes, they need to be notified. If a can gets damaged and destroyed, right? You have too many baffle strikes, your can explodes, what have you. You still have to notify ATF because then they have to take it out of the NFA and then the NFA is then updated. Now that's
the downfall of a lot of the. That's kind of one of the biggest things that pissed me off about the pistol braces. Is the fact that if you do SBR it, now you're stuck in your state with that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to notify. Now you got to notify them and say, "Hey, I'm going over to Indiana for the weekend. I want to take my SBR over there." And then you gotta wait. Then now you're waiting again on paperwork for them to approve you to cross state lines with that gun. That's the shit. It's just like you're giving them money to SBR it, but they still get to tell you exactly what you can do with that.
And if they don't, and if they deny you, and you're either already there, oh boy.
Yeah.
Because just because you ask for permission doesn't mean they're gonna say, yeah, that's fine, whatever. No.
Now what about? How do you own the suppressor? Do you own them like under your name, or you got the trust? Or how Because I know that a lot of NFA shit used to be like under the trust.
So
but they got away with it or something.
You can do both.
Yeah, you can do both. The best way to do it is a trust, though, because you can add and subtract anytime. So let's say I want my brother-in-law to be on the trust. I have him take a picture, do all the legality paperwork. He gets on the trust. Now he has access to all the suppressors that I have access to, and he wants to take them and go to like a police training, and they're going to a shoot house, and he wants to train with simunition, so he's going to use a blue can, and they're going to have live ammunition, so he wants to use a real can. So for that, however long the training is, he'll come back and be like, all right, suppressors aren't for me, I don't want them. Just for some reason. I can literally go in and take him off of my trust. That easy.
Now, if the trust, whatever you're saying, but let's say you're in Ohio and your brother lives in New York, can you still add him to the trust?
No.
Obviously, he can't own the suppressors in New York, but I mean, it's not a federal law that you can't own the suppressor in New York. It's a New York state law. So if, like, for example, I got sister in PA, right? So if she creates a trust, she buys the suppressor and she adds me to a trust, can I just come to PA whenever and freaking grab the suppressor, go shoot?
If you're just gonna go visit her, there's no reason for you to be on a trust because she'll be on it as long as you're with her. You're with the responsible party, and you can have access to it as long.
I get it, but let's say I go to PA, I grab the suppressor, and I go shoot a match down in South Carolina. I mean, every state I cross, everywhere, everything is legit. That's what I'm saying, because all this bullshit law we have, they are state laws, and New York doesn't have a jurisdiction outside of New York. And as long as I'm not breaking federal law or any other state laws, then it should be doable. I gotta talk to my sister tomorrow. I
want to be very clear on this because I have had part of my company is we help with legal things. We help people understand the legal ramifications of certain things that are going on. Now, I want to be really, really clear on this. If you possess a NFA item, whether it's a suppressor, SBS, a short barrel shotgun, a select fire, firearm, or an SBR, you have to have your damn tax stamp on you. On you. Not with your friend, not in your gun bag, on you. ATF does not give a shit if you forgot it in your truck.
So if you're stopped, that you have 24 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. You have 24 hours. So if you're stopped in your county, whatever county you're in, you have 24 hours to present your tax stamp within 24 hours to that sheriff department.
Let me get this straight. So all these hood rats in Chicago running around with extendo mags and switches on the Glocks have a freaking tax stamp on them, and they all over TikTok and Instagram and all that.
Every one of them.
Every one of them has a tax stamp on them. Yeah. What's the freaking ATF on that? Shouldn't they be browsing the streets of Southside in Chicago and just freaking getting that shit off the hands?
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of BS that surrounds the laws of suppressors and other firearms within the NFA. And that's why I think that we're going to see a lot more people challenging the NFA, with the NFA being significantly weakened by the recent reports, or not reports, I apologize, by the recent case decisions by the Supreme Court. So that's going to be where
the Congress. Problem is the Congress and freaking retards in the Congress. Retards that don't know shit about guns and trying to make the fucking laws. That's the problem, And a handful of people in the Congress is actually no difference between an AR and AK. There's not enough of them.
I'm gonna call you on that one. I'm gonna absolutely call you on that one.
I sure hope I'm wrong. But you know what? I've been here for 30 years. I came from the country with a super strict gun control. There was virtually no private ownership of the guns, other than a handful of people that were hunters or whatever, and you had to belong to a club. Even now, it's to actually get a concealed carry. First of all, you have to have a reason. And then even if you show and the only reason they're going to accept is, okay, I own big business, I handle cash. That's about the personal protection. That's not the reason. And you got to go through a mental check and a million other things to get it. Now, if you do get it, finally, again, you can, even in the store, you can only buy ammo for the guns that are on your permit. So you can't just go buy whatever you want. So it's heavily restricted. I've been brought up. I didn't get into guns until I was in my 40s.
Right.
I was just never into it. I remember when my son was born, we moved. I bought a house. We moved in, and my new neighbor came over. We watching the movie. It was the movie Signs with Mel Gibson.
Signs. Okay.
And there's a scene where they are like hunkering down in the basement, and the aliens are trying to get in, and he's like chopping the hands off with the knife and all that. And my neighbor goes, "Fuck that! I'd be blasting the fucking fools with my 12 gauge right through the fucking door." And I look at him, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because you got guns in your house. He goes, "Hell yeah, I got a fucking shotgun in my bed." I was like, "Holy shit! Like, who the fuck is my neighbor?"
Don't do it. I saw you reaching. Don't do it. Now, look, I'm not going to discredit anything that you just said because you're 100% factual and correct. But let me try to bring a different spin to this. And this is a quote from a movie, but it's the truest quote of anything. And I said this in a room full of NRA members at a grassroots event down here in Florida. And a sitting senator for the state was there and a sheriff was there. And at the end of my statement to him, I said, the people shouldn't be scared of their government. The government should be scared of their people. I said, you work for us. You guys work for us. I hope you understand that. You are elected into your office by us. Therefore, we as people within this industry, I don't know if you two gentlemen work within the industry of firearms. I know Spectre does, but we work in the industry. It's our job to help educate other shooters and the politicians who are making these laws and making the justifications for how they vote in the House or in the Senate. It's our job. The best way to do that, reach out to them. I just reached out to a Democrat in my state. Forget his name. Mark Rubio. Senator Mark Rubio. He's a full-blown Democrat, but he says that he's all for preserving the Second Amendment. All right, I'm going to call your bluff. I sent his office an email. They want to schedule a time to meet.
He's not a Democrat. Rubio's not a Democrat. He's a Republican.
When I went on his profile, Rubio's thing had a D next to it.
I'm pretty sure
he had to switch then because he was a Republican.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't he run for the president or something?
Yeah, he did a while. Yeah, I think he ran. Yeah, he ran second term when Obama ran, I think.
Now, speaking of presidents, right? Didn't what's his name? The guy from New Jersey, what is it? Christie or whatever the hell his name. He announced he's running for the president as well as a Democrat. Yeah. And he, as much as New Jersey sucks, he's a pretty, for the Democrat, he's a pretty pro 2A. He since Jersey has border with the PA, there was a number of people that brought accidentally guns to New Jersey. He pardoned a couple of them. And when the New Jersey wanted to push more for the magazine restrictions, he kind of vetoed that because he's like, it doesn't make sense. You're gonna limit to 10 rounds. Why not to 6? Why not to 5? Why not to 1 bullet? Like,
right? It didn't.
What's the point? So some of the things that he says actually made sense. So I'm just curious, Okay. I mean, all the shit that fucking Sleepy Joe says is a fucking nonsense, but.
I apologize. I'm going to admit that I was wrong. He is a Republican sitting senator, so I admit I was wrong. I could have swore that I saw a D next to his name.
Got my action.
Maybe D stands for something else.
That's crazy.
Probably.
Gotta get the oils cleaned off, and then we can drop the trigger. Nice, Chad. Thanks for coming out, man. I seen you earlier. Glad you're back. Glad you got that figured out. Here you go.
Yep, there it is. Thank you, G23. I appreciate it.
G23 is a fact checker. He's faster than the fucking YouTube.
We're a little over time, but I'm just going to go until 1:30 so we can get what needs to get done that talked about. I have that USPSA night match this Saturday. It's sold out. It's amazing. I got a guy coming that's going to record a night vision psionics and also a couple other like Sony cameras that do really good in low light. So I'm going to have some footage from it, some photos. I'm going to upload it next week. I'm going to prioritize that for you guys. I'm pretty stoked for it. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully it goes really well. The place that it's going to be at, we shoot at all the time. Great guys. And I'm honored that they're giving me the chance to basically present this for everybody because Ohio does not have this going on. Like once or twice a year, and you got to pay so much money because a lot of ranges don't want the obligation, the insurance. So I'm pretty honored that they're letting this happen. I have a video coming out tomorrow about flash hider, the difference between this one and then a regular flat cap. 3 different type of video, iPhone, through the tubes with the Grec night vision recorder, and also with the psionics. So you'll get to see flash and how much shows. And I'll just, spoiler alert, obviously it helps. It doesn't solve it, but it helps. Let's go around the panel, plug your stuff, say what you got going on, talk about whatever you want to talk about. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll have the review video dropping tomorrow for the Monstrum Raiders, the new hand stop lights they got out now. Got Wednesday night, the live chat at 9. We're going to have Tennessee Pickers on. That's going to be fun, sitting down with those guys, hanging out with them. And that's what I got coming up. So thanks for the invite. Had a good time tonight.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate it. Val, take it away.
I don't know. I got a couple of videos. I got these. I picked this up along with your swag bag in my PO box. So I gotta blame Chris for that.
Who made those?
Oh, that's the glove. What's it called? The glove.
Glove Station.
Glove station.
Yeah. They have really solid gloves, Dakota. You should probably check them out.
How do they stack up against like mechanics gloves?
They have everything. They have everything, literally. Even like
they're a lot cheaper and convenient. So I did a quick video on that. I got a match I'm shooting in Pennsylvania on Sunday, and I was just working video from last match, but I only had like 3 stages recorded. But it'll go up, and that's about it. I mean, kind of running out of content. I need to move out of state.
Yeah, you do. Daniel, it starts. First shots are at 9:30. Registration starts at 8:45. Shooting's going to last around 3.5 hours. It's 2 squads, 12 people each. It's going to move pretty quick. The furthest you'll shoot 100 yards is the furthest you'll shoot, and the closest I think is 5 yards with a pistol. It's just a quick 2-tap and then moving out, just to get you going. Casey, thanks for supporting me, man. I tried to get out as quick as possible. Hopefully it showed up to your liking, because I'm an impatient person. So if you are, I totally understand. Thanks again. All right, Dakota, talk about everything, honestly. Talk about Right Firearm Solutions and what's coming, man.
So I feel bad, man. I feel like I've been running my mouth this whole time, so I do feel bad. Guys, Right Firearm Solutions is quite literally my life's work. It's what I believe that the gun industry should strive for. And part of that is building the community, bringing people together who are like-minded, who want to produce quality content, quality prices without screwing over our customers. And I want to help people within the industry know that when you walk into a gun shop, the person you talk to actually knows what the hell they're talking about. They're not idiots. They're not just spewing off some BS from a pamphlet. That these people know what to do. They know how to talk to you. I also want to hold instructors to a higher standard, because let's face it, the NRA is a joke. The NRA's instructor program is a joke. I say that as one, and a chief range safety officer. It's a joke. The education in this industry is pathetic. SDI, as a current student and honor roll student, I'm telling you, it's pathetic. Like, the entire curriculum is a joke. It's literally middle school level. So currently, right now, I'm working on building an education platform, working with several companies on doing that. We're getting specialists in every field to come in and speak on it. And then we're having the industry specifications being reviewed by the people who are the top dogs in the industry. We're having private people and industry leaders review the information. So then that way, going forward, the information can just be like, yes, these are the top dogs in the industry. They're the ones who agreed that this is the information that should be taught. So we're doing that. We're working with Death Rattle Syndicate. If you don't know who they are, they're fantastic. They produce awesome content. We are officially sponsoring 2 shooters, 2 more on the way with more stuff. We're running specials on Magpul drum mags. I am selling the D60 cheaper than Brownells currently on my website. And then on top of that, guys, we're getting ready to launch a new website, and that website is going to have a map feature in our verified affiliates. With that being the case, like for instance, Spectre is going to get added. Well, when Spectre gets added, we're going to go through and we're going to ask all the hard questions. What's your background? What's your experience? What is it you do? How can you best help a customer? We're going to thoroughly vet every person. So that's firearms business, ranges, instructors, manufacturers, private FFLs, gunsmiths, so on. And then that way, all you have to do is punch in your zip code and you will find someone who's been independently verified in your area to produce quality work. And they've been vetted by people who have the education and the professional expectations to seek out these people and make sure that you're not getting crap. So instead of walking into a gun shop that the information's kind of hit or miss, the people who we're verifying are the people that you, me, and everyone else would want to go to, because they're not going to talk to you like just another customer. They're going to treat you as an equal who's looking to either get into competition or protect your family. And they're going to know how to best do that because they're educated properly. That's what I do. That's our job. We offer consulting services. rightfirearms.com is one way, or just look up Right Firearms Solutions. You'll find us online. TikTok, we're blowing up. We're just here to help. Our prices are marked significantly lower than virtually everyone else in the industry. And our prices can be cut even more for our military members. However, for other dealers, I do not charge other dealers above cost plus tax. That's it. That's all I charge. It's simple. I take care of the industry. It takes care of me. We all work together. Everybody wins. I'm not here to divide the industry. I'm here to bring it back together, because the firearms industry is one of the oldest industries in the world. And we haven't unified, but yet everyone else has. And we wonder why we're getting our asses kicked. Time to bring everyone back to the round table. That's my belief.
What's the acronym for the?
So, so thank you for bringing that up. So once we have a good following and once everything starts getting handled and taken care of, my company, along with several other companies and their figureheads, we're all going to get together and we're creating an international community, very much like how you would see the NRA or the National Shooting Sports Foundation or the USCCA. We're going to assemble a panel of people who are experts across the entire field, who are well respected within their craft of the industry. And it's going to be called the International Shooting Standards Commission, the ISSC. And that is what we're going to aim to do, is that it's only going to cost you like $5 for a year just to be a member. And we're not going to do all the stupid BS that the NRA did and run around, buy vineyards and buy all this crap. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring everyone together, and we're going to make sure that our members know that we're transparent with our money. So every month we'll release a financial statement of where the commission's money has been going. So that way, if our members are like, hey, we'd rather send the money, this year or for the, this month, we want to send that off to the Firearms Policy Coalition to support them for fighting for these cases. We would let our members dictate where the money goes, not figureheads looking to make another million. Plus, I don't like yachts, so they're not for me.
Waters and no. I'm surprised you're still on TikTok. I'm kind of mad about that. I've been permanently banned 3 times now within a month.
I have a feeling that they're taking pity on me because I'm so ugly.
Fair enough. I respect that.
Ugly people need love too.
I seen a comment.
Hey, Spectre, real quick.
Yeah.
I need suppressor options for a Jackal.
Oh. Okay.
So if you don't mind sending me a few of those, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that gun.
Yeah, it is.
I shot one at SHOT Show this year. It's we're pretty freaking cool.
I got the 10.5 Smoke Edition, and with the ACR stock and the adapter, I'm going to form one that SOB as soon as it comes in.
Nice. That's epic. Honcho tested his gloves at Thunder on the Prairie. He says they like them. I tested the ones I have. They kind of look like pigs. They're the Pursuit, I think. I could be wrong. And then also, Chris, what's the ones there for like winter?
I did the review on the. God,
I forget what it's called too. But anyways, their gloves are cheaper than the name brand and better than the name brand because they use a different design that they listen to the customers and they actually use what the customers want. So like it's form fitting where it should be. It's not loose where it is. There you have right grip where you want it. You still have your ambidextrous instead of it just being a freaking I can't use my hands. The phone you can use your phone on certain ones. So they killed it. I was
Impulse
happy
Guard's the one I did the review on.
yeah,
And I got another
guards.
pair back here. I still gotta get out and review.
The impulse guards are the ones you would use in like cold weather, winter. And I could still move around, still feel, still have good manipulation. I was pretty impressed, and it's literally half the price of the name brand. I mean, can't go wrong with Magpul. Magpul, they have some good gloves, but other than that, Glove Station's good quality. That's not paid sponsored either. I paid for these.
And good friends of ours.
Yes, great guys.
So, Spectre, I got a quick question for maybe the rest of the viewers. What is the best option for someone who is just starting out to go get their first trust or to go get a trust in general for suppressors and NFA items? Where can they go?
The easiest place to do it is silencershop.com. You can literally do everything online, or you could go to a gun shop that has a kiosk for Silencer Shop. You do your photo there, you do all your personal info, legal info on like the kiosk or at your home if you do it at home online. And that's it. The hardest part is taking the photo. You want to look good for Uncle Sam. If you don't look good and you look suspicious, you might not get approved. That's literally it. That's the best place to go, silencershop.com, and just fill it out. When you do your Form 4, though, if you want to trust, you just mark that box that you want to trust. You'll have another page of who's all going to be on that trust. And they'll have to go through the same steps that you will, your picture, all your info. But if you do what's called a one shot, they call it, you just do it once, and that NFA item belongs to you and only you. So when you pass away, that goes back to the government. This thing will not be transferred to your family, a friend, nothing. It literally goes back to the government, which is unfortunate. So that's another reason to have a trust if you don't like Big Brother.
Trusts also help in divorces.
That too. Yeah. They can't beat that.
Well, it's gonna go back to the government only if they can find it.
I'm trying to find it, G. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go. Are you going to get Mossad? Okay, so I have not asked. I don't know if this is a joke or not. Gee, is this a joke? I haven't asked. Chris, do you know who that is?
No idea.
You don't know who Masad Ayob is, the old timer?
He's really old.
He's what's his name? Who's the actor? Do you feel lucky, Punk?
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. So he's a Clint Eastwood of the shooting community.
I think that's a joke. No, I have not asked.
Why you in contact with him?
No, I will wear a hat that says "Let's go." All right. Well, I just want to say thank you guys, especially the side chat. You guys have been very, not just firing off with questions, but supportive. You guys always are. Without you, I say this every time, but I mean it. Without you guys, this would not be happening. We can only talk amongst each other for so long, and then we start getting out of ideas, and we like to interact with you guys because without you, this channel and our channels would not be around. I don't look cute. Val, oh my goodness. Chris might look good and Dakota might look good, but that beard, you get lost in the sauce in that beard. But thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And everyone that rewatches this, that does the replay, you guys been going crazy. The last couple of videos have went over 200, one hit 300. I really appreciate that. Next week, I'm going to have someone special on. He's local. He just started his business in the firearm industry. So we're going to show him some love and give his point of view on stuff and what he's going to do. Yeah. So see you next Thursday on episode 8. Spectre out.